Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Thompson Talks with Tony.
And Christina.
Listen, this is a little different. This episode is a little different. This will be a mini series that we're doing, okay? The title of this mini series is God Knows What He's Doing. All right, type that in the comments. God knows what He's doing. All right, I want to read this verse. Before I read the verse, actually, I want to give y'all this. In this mini series, we're going to give you 3 stories to illustrate God knows what He's doing. 3 individual stories, right, Christina?
Yep, 3.
That have to do with our lives to show you that God knows what He's doing. Okay. And we want you to pull from this. But before we give you those stories, I got to read this verse. I got to give y'all some game. All right. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 26. Okay. God talking to Isaiah. Isaiah 40, 26. Lift up your eyes on high and see who created these. He's talking about the stars. He who brings out their hosts by number, calling them all by name. He has a name for each star. Watch this, God. By the greatness of His might, and because He is strong in power, not one is missing. Come on. Type that in the comments. Not one star is missing. When I looked this up, this blew my mind. Okay, this isn't even a story yet, but I want y'all to see this. What blew my mind was there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand in beaches and deserts combined.
Wow.
I'm gonna say that again. There are more stars in the universe than there are individual grains of sand in beaches and deserts combined. That ought to do something to you right there. So in other words, God identified the stars, God named the stars, God put the stars in particular situations, or not particular situations, but particular positions, I should say. And He said, watch this, not one is missing.
Wow.
Now watch this. What does this have to do with Tony, Christina?
Yeah.
God knows what He's doing. If He knows the stars like that and not one is missing, what does that mean for Christina? What does that mean for me? And what does that mean for you watching this?
Yeah.
He knows what He's doing in your marriage. He knows what He's doing in your finances. He knows what He's doing with your mental health. He knows what He's doing for your kids. He knows what He's doing for whatever situation you're going through. He knows what He's doing. I know it's hard. I know it feels scary. There's a lot of uncertainties. There might be some doubt. There might be some fear. But let me encourage you with this. And I'm going to give y'all the first story. I ain't even hit the first story yet. This is just scripture. He knows what He's doing. If He knows the stars by name, He knows what He's doing in you, for you, and through you.
That's good.
There just has to be a trust. Watch this. Story number 1 of God knows what He's doing. True story. In year 1 of me being a professional speaker, y'all know the story. I was broke. Me and Christina had just got married. I'm trying to find speaking engagements.
Right.
My normal routine was to drop Christina off at work, drive to a bread co right across the street. That was my normal routine.
Mm-hmm.
On this particular day of this story, the bread co that I would normally go to, I'm getting hyped right now, Christina. The bread co that I would normally go to was jam-packed. It was overcrowded. I don't remember what was going on. So I said, you know what? I'm not even getting ready to go in. It's a lot going on. I got back in the car. I drove to a bread co that was like 5 or 10 minutes down the street. I walk into that bread co. Come on, I'm hyped right now. I'm walking, listen to me, because I want y'all to get this. I would go to bread co to send emails. That would be my thing. I'm sending emails trying to get speaking engagements, hoping anybody will book me. That's all I did. Drop Christina off, go to that same bread co. So I'm at this bread co now that I don't usually go to. I walk in and I see these 2 gentlemen kind of eyeballing me. It was really 2 gentlemen at a table, but one of them was eyeballing me.
Yeah.
I go to get, I think I was trying to find a table. And right when I passed by their table, one of the gentlemen stops me. He says, "Hey, aren't you Tony Thompson?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't you speak? Aren't you a speaker?" I said, "Yeah." I'm thinking in my head, I haven't really been doing a lot of speaking. How do you know I'm a speaker?
Yeah.
Watch this. We were connected on LinkedIn. I had never met, I want y'all to get this, man. I'm hyped right now. I had never met this man a day in my life. We were just connected on LinkedIn.
But
and
you
he
didn't know his
saw-
name.
Didn't know his name.
Yeah.
He saw some of the content I had been posting for my, I got a couple gigs then,
Yeah.
couple freebies. He
Mhm.
saw those posts,
Yeah.
those videos, those photos, if you will. He said, the gentleman here across from me is such and such. I'm not gonna call his name, but he's an assistant principal of such and such a school district. I want y'all, come on. I'm hyped right now, man. I remember this like it was yesterday.
I did
He's
too.
sitting across from an assistant principal.
Yeah.
He says the assistant principal is working on, come on, he says he's working on a speaker series to bring speakers in to speak to his students. Come on, man. It gets crazy though. That's not it. So I'm thinking in my head, wait a minute. I've been sending all these emails out trying to just get me a speaking engagement. Like, where's the speaking engagements?
Mm.
And I go to a bread co that I don't usually go to. And this assistant principal, who I've never met, I'm introduced to him by a guy I've never met. And they're talking about a speaker series.
Yeah.
On that day, at that exact time, at a bread co I don't usually go to.
Ooh, God's timing.
Come on. God knows what he's doing. Write that in the comments.
God
knows what he's doing. Watch this. I got to wrap this up. So I give him my card. He say, hey, we'll set up a call. The assistant principal does. He said, we'll set up a call. I said, perfect. We set up the call. We hop on the call. And after we find out I'm a good fit for his students to speak, he says the infamous question, or asks the infamous question, what's your fee? Now, here's where it gets crazy. This is where you got to buckle up. I was getting ready to say $500 because at that time, that's the most I had charged for a speaking engagement. It was $500. That was my max at that time. Before I could say $500, he threw me, let's say, an assist in basketball, if you will. Because in his heart, he wanted to, watch this. Yeah, don't do that again. In his heart, I could tell he wanted to help me, but it was God working through him. But in his heart, he wanted to help me. Watch this. He says, Tony, I want to let you know this before you give me a number. We're bringing in another speaker for this speaker series, and his fee is $3,000. So as I'm listening to that on the phone, he's basically telling me that my fee needs to be $3,000. So guess what I told him? I said, my fee is $3,000. I know it's crazy I know it sounds crazy, but my fee is $3,000 as well.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll throw in some books. So I threw in books, and I did 2 assemblies that day instead of just 1. So I went from $500 to $3,000. Let me rephrase that. God took me from $500
That's better, yeah.
to $3,000 in a matter of seconds at a bread co that I don't usually go to. Those 2 gentlemen had to be sitting there at that exact time. Mm-hmm. If they would have came an hour early, I would have missed them. Yep. If they would have came an hour later, I would have missed them.
Yep.
Now, let me say this before I close. I had a website at the time. I had business cards at the time. Now, this is going to help some of y'all because God wants to put his super on your natural, but you have to be doing something in the natural for him to bless. I had business cards at the time. I had a website at the time. And I had some photos I had taken that I was posting at that time.
Yep.
When I was doing free speaking engagements.
Yep.
So that's an important piece of the puzzle. You like, Tony, why isn't God doing the supernatural? You haven't done the natural part.
Yeah.
Do the natural part.
Yeah.
Let him do the super. You do the natural part.
Yeah.
Watch this. I want y'all to see this. Here's what I'm trying to give y'all. And I'm gonna read this because I got it in the notes. God blesses you. He has the ability to bless you in unfamiliar territory.
That's good.
That bread co was unfamiliar territory for me. It was a different bread co. It was not the bread co I was used to. And I want y'all to see that I had to be ready for the opportunity. I had to walk by faith and not by sight. And in being obedient in my calling and in my gift and in my talent and in my skill, God bless my socks off. He blew my mind.
Don't limit God.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you feel, regardless of what it looks like.
Yep.
regardless of the uncertainties, the doubts and the fears, God knows what he's doing.
Yep. And be ready. When you step into that unfamiliar territory, thinking it's just a regular day, be ready, be expectant.
Yep.
Because God knows what he's doing. And you have to be ready, and just because he'll blow your mind. He'll blow your mind.
Go like, comment, share, subscribe. This has been Thompson Talks with Tony and Christina. Thanks for watching.